right, guys, how you doing? April 5th, 2020, Sunday, Palm Sunday today, for any religious people out there who follow the Christian faith. And today we're going to do an interesting video today. We're going to talk about actually all the different religions out here and some of the churches and pastors and priests out here who still have their churches open during the COVID-19. That's something that actually is kind of weird to me just because I don't understand why they would still want the church open. I understand that they try to designate that as an essential business to be open, which is not a business, but they do take money. So I don't know how to, incorporate this talk into something like that. But I mean, it really is like, they should not be open right now. That's my thoughts. That's my thinking on something like that. I don't think any place that has more than, maybe 10 people, 5 people in one location where you're sitting next to somebody, you should not be open at this time. Even if it is like a religious, facility that has, church going there. And to me, I just don't think it's the wise thing to do. I understand that faith is very important to people, and I know I'll never question that. I'll never question someone's religion and faith, but I just believe in this time that these priests really need to take this seriously. It feels like they're being defiant. It feels like there's some sort of Republican connection, conservative connection to it, where some of these governors and some of these priests don't want to shut down their city, don't want to lock down their states, and they're kind of like not disregarding science, in a sense, because they're basically trying to act like God and trying to act like if I don't know if God's going to protect them from the virus or what they're thinking is. I understand that they know people need faith. I know people need to gather, but at a time like this where things are so sensitive and one person can spread it to other 2 people and so on and so on, there's just too many examples out there of people not taking this seriously, and maybe like 3 or 4 people in your family dies, people who've had a practice, and 50 people end up testing positive for it. People are dying. So I think some of the pastors and priests out there need to heed the warning and understand that this is truly serious. That they shouldn't jeopardize their congregation by telling them to come, because people love the faith, people love the gospel, people love the church, and if their priest and their pastor is telling them that they're going to open church, people will feel guilty if they don't go. Like God's looking down on them, like they don't have true faith because they're scared to go to church because of COVID-19. But why even put that into your congregation's mind? Why not just tell them that, for the time being, for the short time being, we're not going to be having church? I think that's the most sophisticated, most smart thing to do at a time like this, because, like I said, some of these pastors and priests are still holding churches open, and it may be in a place that's not maybe as bad, but I've seen some place in Texas that's doing it, and a couple other places where the priests still want to just fight the feeling of shutting everything down. They want to stay open. So, my thoughts on that is that I don't think they should be doing that. I mean, they're trying to actually play like God in a role like that. They're trying to be bigger than what the thing is. And to me, that's not right. Like I said, people who go to church will listen to their pastor. So if the pastor says we're having mass, they're gonna go. And the thing about this COVID-19 is that you don't even have to have symptoms to have it. You wouldn't even have to, and you'll have it for like 14 days. So I just think, a lot of these churches do need to shut down, just for now. It's not something long term. And like I said, I'm a very spiritual person too. I believe in God too as well. But I just feel like at a time like this, God blessed us all with a mind, with the ability to think and think logically about a situation like this. So if you understand that you can spread it to another person, and you're going to have people come together into a church, and I mean, you got to think about it. All the sports things have shut down. Everything else, restaurants have shut down. Schools have shut down. So what's the difference? Do churches still need to be open? I don't understand that. So, maybe some of you guys can leave comments on the bottom down there and try to let me know why, which I understand why. I really do, from a perspective of faith and all that. I really do understand why they want to keep it open. But at a time like this, we don't need to open. We really don't. People can just practice at home and have their own self-relationship with God, And that's the most important thing anyways, is that self-relationship with God. I understand the community aspect of church and all that, but, I mean, relationship with God, with your own personal relationship with God is the most important thing, especially at a time like this. Maybe priests can just do some online streaming churching. A lot of people are doing that. And then you can have set times where you can do a prayer around 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock, where everyone prays on that certain time. So I think that's just something that they got to get creative. So those are my initial thoughts on this. I think the churches should be closed. I don't think they should be jeopardizing the health of other people. And just because from a liability perspective, they can them getting in trouble or something get like that, and it just doesn't look good, you know. So just all you priests, pastors out there, please just let your congregation know that they can just do this from home, you know. And anyone who's watching this video, just get more connected spiritually with your God, you know, on your own personal basis. So that's the most important thing, anyways, you know. So again, you know, it's April 5th, 2020, and some churches are still open. So let me know what you guys think about that. Leave your comments down there. But, you know, prayers out to everybody out there fighting this virus out there and trying to be safe as possible. And like I said, try to stay home. Try to stay very clean. And just try to continue to help yourself, your community, and everyone else around you. All right, guys. Prayers out to everybody. God bless and have a good night.